In the heart of Ndekwe village, two little girls named Choma and Adanna grew up together like inseparable sisters. From the moment they could walk, they were always by each other's side. Whether it was fetching water from the river, helping their mothers at the market, or playing hide and seek under the old baobab tree, their bond seemed unbreakable. Adanna was the softer of the two, with a kind heart and a gentle smile that endeared her to everyone in the village. Choma, on the other hand, was bold and assertive. Her laughter was loud, her energy uncontainable, and her will unshakable. "We will always be together no matter what," Adanna often said, her small hand clutching Choma's hands. "Forever," Choma will reply, her bright eyes full of mischief. As the years passed, their friendship only deepened. They shared secrets, dreams, and hopes for the future. Little did they know that this bond, forged in the innocence of childhood, would one day face the ultimate test. Adanna and Choma attended the same school, sitting next to each other in every class. While Adanna excelled in her studies with her quiet determination, Choma was the life of the classroom, always quick with a joke or a clever remark. "One day, we will graduate and become great women," Adanna said one afternoon as they walked home from school. Choma laughed, tossing her braids over her shoulder. "You'll probably become a teacher or something boring, and I'll become a famous singer," she teased. Adanna rolled her eyes. "As long as we are together, I don't care what we do," she replied. In their adolescence, they navigated the joy and challenges of growing up. First crushes, difficult exams, and village gossips. Their friendship remained strong, but small cracks began to form as Choma's assertiveness sometimes overshadowed Adanna's gentle nature. Still, Adanna never complained. To her, Choma was more than a friend. She was family. Everything began to change the day Adanna met Obinna. He was a handsome young man who had just returned to the village after finishing his apprenticeship in the city. His smile was warm, his laugh infectious, and his presence magnetic. Adanna and Obinna quickly became close, their connection blossoming into a love that seemed as pure as morning dew. Chioma, however, watched from the sidelines, her smile forced and her heart heavy with envy. "He is handsome," Chioma remarked one evening, her tone casual but her eyes sharp. "He is," Adanna replied with a dreamy smile. "I think I'm falling in love with him." Chioma laughed, but the sound lacked its usual joy. Deep inside, a seed of jealousy took root. For the first time, she felt as though she was losing Adanna to someone else, and she didn't like it. Adanna and Obinna's love story culminates in a beautiful wedding, celebrated by the entire village. Adanna looked radiant in her traditional attire, her happiness shining brighter than the sun. Obinna was equally joyful, his heart full of joy, as he pledged his love to her before their family and friends. Choma was there too, her smile wide but her heart stormy. She clapped and danced with the others, but every beat of the drum felt like a hammer against her chest. "Congratulations, my friend," Choma said, hugging Adanna tightly after the ceremony. "Thank you, Choma. I couldn't have done this without you," Adanna replied, her eyes filled with gratitude. But Choma's mind was elsewhere. As she watched Obinna and Adanna shared a loving glances, her jealousy deepened. She wanted what Adanna had, and the thought began to consume her. Choma's envy grew into something darker as the days turned into weeks. She couldn't bear to see Adanna so happy while she is so empty. "Why does she get everything?" Choma muttered one night, her voice bitter. Obinna should have been mine. That night, Chioma made a decision that would change everything. She would take Obinna for herself, no matter the cost. The friendship she had cherished for years was now overshadowed by her burning jealousy. Years later, Chioma began visiting Adanna's home frequently, claiming she wanted to help her with the children and household chores. Her smile was warm, her voice gentle, but her intentions were anything but pure. "You are such a good friend, Chioma," Adanna said one afternoon as Chioma played with her two children, Kelechi and Nneka. "I don't know what I will do without you." Chioma smiled, but inside her heart churned with resentment and bitterness. Every time she saw Adanna and Obinna together, it felt like a slap to her face. She wanted their happiness for herself, and her plan to achieve it was already forming. "Anything for you, my dear friend," Chioma replied, her voice dripping with false sincerity. From that day, Chioma began ingratiating herself further into Adanna's life. She cooked meals, took care of the children, and became a trusted part of their family. To everyone else, she appeared to be the perfect friend, but deep inside, she was waiting for the right moment to strike. Chioma's next step was to create tension between Adanna and Obinna. She began planting subtle doubts into Obinna's mind about his wife. "I'm worried about Adanna," Chioma said one evening as she and Obinna sat outside, watching the children play. "She's been acting so strange lately. I hope she's not overwhelmed with the responsibility of being a wife and a mother." Obinna frowned, his mind now filled with concern. Chioma's words were vague, but they left an impression. Over the following weeks, she continued her whispers, weaving lies that slowly chipped away at the trust between Adanna and Obinna. Adanna noticed the change in her husband. He became distant, his words curt, and his smiles rare. She couldn't understand what was happening, but Chioma was always there to console her. "Don't worry, my friend," Chioma said, fidgeting concern. "Men can be so difficult sometimes. I'm sure it's nothing." But Chioma's true goal was to drive a wedge between them, and her plan is working. The breaking point came one fateful evening. Chioma had been preparing dinner for the family while Adanna was out fetching water. She took a small pouch from her bag and poured a white powder into the pot of soup. "This will make everything easier," Chioma muttered, her heart racing with a mix of fear and determination. When Adanna returned, Chioma served the meal with her usual smile. Obinna and the children ate heartily, but Adanna hesitated. "You've outdone yourself again, Chioma," Obinna said, unaware of the danger lurking in his wife's bowl. Adanna took a few bites of the food before her face paled, and she clutched her stomach in pain. She collapsed onto the floor, her breath shallow and labored. Obinna and the children rushed to her side, panic written all over their faces. "What is happening?" Obinna cried, his voice trembling. Chioma felt shock, but inside she felt a twisted sense of triumph. Her plan was unfolding perfectly. Despite Obinna's desperate effort to save her, Adanna passed away that night. The village was engulfed in grief, mourning the loss of a kind and loving soul. Chioma shed tears alongside the others, but hers were crocodile tears. Inside, she celebrated her victory. With Adanna gone, she could now position herself as the woman who would bring stability and comfort to Obinna and his children. "I will help you through this, Obinna," Chioma said during the burial, placing a comforting hand on his shoulder. Obinna nodded, his eyes red with tears. He was too consumed by grief to see Chioma's true intentions. But the villagers began to whisper among themselves, uneasy about Chioma's sudden closeness to Obinna. After Adanna's death, Chioma wasted no time in moving into Obinna's home. She claimed it was to help with the children, but her actions spoke otherwise. She began asserting herself as the new mistress of the house, wearing Adanna's clothes, cooking meals, and even sitting in Adanna's favorite chair. At first, Obinna was too lost in grief to protest, but as the weeks passed, he began to feel uncomfortable. Still, Chioma's charms and persistence made it difficult for him to push her away. Chioma's true nature soon revealed itself to Adanna's children. She was harsh and cruel, punishing them for the smallest mistakes and denying them the love they desperately needed. "You are nothing but a burden," she snapped at Kelechi one afternoon when he accidentally spilled water on the floor. Nneka, too young to understand why Chioma was so mean, often cried herself to sleep. The once warm and loving home became a place of fear and sadness. Months after Adanna's passing, Chioma decided it was time to secure her place as Obinna's wife. She approached him one evening, her face a mask of sadness and concern. "Obinna," she began, her voice trembling, "I have done my best to take care of the children and this home, but the village is beginning to talk. They say it is improper for a single woman to live here like this." Obinna frowned, his guilt evident. He had leaned heavily on Chioma's support and hadn't considered the implication of their arrangement. "I don't want to leave the children," Chioma continued, letting a tear slip down her cheek, "but perhaps it's best for everyone if I go." "No," Obinna said, his voice firm. "You've done so much for us. If the village is talking, then maybe we should make this official." Chioma had leaped with triumph, but she kept her expression sober. "Are you sure, Obinna? I only want what's best for you and the children." "Yes," he replied, his tone resolute. "You've been a blessing to us, Chioma." And so the stage was set. Chioma had manipulated Obinna into marriage, but her true intentions were far from noble. Not long after their marriage, Obinna began noticing things he had overlooked before. One evening, he returned home early from the farm and found Chioma shouting at Kelechi, who was cowering in fear. "You are as useless as your mother," Chioma spat, her voice venomous. Obinna froze, shocked by her words. He had never seen this side of Chioma before. Quietly, he stepped away, deciding to observe her more closely. Over the next few days, he noticed her harsh treatment of the children, denying them food, forcing them to do heavy chores, and belittling them at every opportunity. His heart ached as he realized how blind he had been to Chioma's true nature. But he felt trapped, unsure of how to confront her without causing more harm to his children. One afternoon, while Chioma was away, Kelechi and Nneka stumbled upon an old box hidden in the corner of the storeroom. Driven by curiosity, they opened it and found a small pouch filled with white powder and a note written in Chioma's handwriting. The note read, "One pinch is enough, too much and it will raise suspicion." Kelechi's hand trembled as he held the pouch. He remembered his mother falling ill after eating Chioma's soup. "Nneka, I think this is what killed Mama," Kelechi whispered, his voice trembling. Nneka's eyes filled with tears. "What do we do, Kelechi?" "We have to tell someone," Kelechi replied, determination hardening his voice. "But we need proof." That night, as the children lay in bed, they were awakened by a soft, comforting light. Standing before them was their mother, her spirit radiant and serene. "Mama," Nneka whispered, her voice filled with wonder and fear. "Do not be afraid, my children," Adanna's spirit said, her voice gentle yet firm. "I have come to guide you. Chioma betrayed me, but justice will prevail. You must take the pouch to the village elders and tell them everything you know." "But what if they don't believe us?" Kelechi asked, tears streaming down his face. "They will," Adanna replied. "The truth always comes to light. Be brave, my loves." With that, her spirit faded, leaving the children with a renewed sense of purpose and courage. The next morning, Kelechi and Nneka decided to confront Chioma before taking the pouch to the elders. "We know what you did to Mama," Kelechi said, his voice steady despite the fear in his heart. Chioma's eyes widened for a moment before narrowing into a glare. "What nonsense are you talking about?" she snapped. "We found this," Nneka said, holding up the pouch. "Mama's spirit told us everything." Chioma's face twisted with anger and fear. She longed at the children, trying to grab the pouch, but they were too quick. "You little brats," she screamed. "You don't know what you are talking about." But the children stood their ground, determined to see their plan through. The children brought the pouch and the note to the village elders, recounting everything they have discovered. The elders listened intently, their faces growing darker with each revelation. Chioma was summoned to the square, where she was confronted with the evidence. At first, she denied everything, but under the piercing gaze of the elders and the murmurs of the crowd, her resolve crumbled. I didn't mean to hurt anyone," she stammered, tears streaming down her face. I just wanted a better life," she stuttered. The elders shook their heads, their voice heavy with disappointment. "You let envy consume you, Chioma. Your actions have brought shame upon yourself and harm to others." The elders declared that Chioma would be banished from the village, a punishment reserved for those who committed the gravest of crime in the community. As she was led away, the villagers whispered among themselves, their voices filled with shock and anger. Obinna watched silently, his heart heavy with regret for not seeing Chioma's true nature sooner. He vowed to rebuild his family and ensure his children grew up in a loving and safe home. As the days turned into weeks and weeks into months, Obinna and his children began to rebuild their lives. The scars of betrayal and loss ran deep, but the love they shared gave them the strength to move forward. Obinna often spoke to Kelechi and Nneka about their mother, recounting her kindness, her laughter, and the strength she embodied. Through these stories, Adanna's spirit remained alive in their hearts, a guiding light that reminded them of the power of love and integrity. The village also learned a valuable lesson. They came together to support Obinna and his family, and they vowed to remain vigilant against envy and deceit. The elders reminded everyone of the dangers of letting jealousy consume them, urging them to celebrate the successes of others and to cherish true friendship. Chioma's fate served as a cautionary tale, not only for the villagers alone, but for all who heard her story. Her choices, driven by envy and selfishness, led to her downfall and the loss of everything she once held dear. In the end, the family found peace, and as they sat in the living room, watching the television, they knew they had emerged stronger, bound by love and the lesson life had taught them. Moral lesson: guard your heart against jealousy. Envy can lead to destructive actions that harm both the victim and the perpetrator. Celebrate the joy and successes of others instead of coveting them. 2. Cherish true friendship. A real friend uplifts and supports one another rather than betraying their trust. Choose your friends wisely and be loyal in return. 3. The truth always prevails. Lies and deceit may provide temporary satisfaction, but the truth has a way of coming to light. Always act with integrity. 4. Teach and protect our children. Kelechi and Nneka's bravery shows the importance of raising children with values of courage, truth, and resilience. 5. Community matters. The support of the village and the role of the elders underline the strength of unity in overcoming challenges and promoting justice. As you have seen in this tale, life is full of choices, and the decision we make can have lasting consequences. Let this story remind you to choose kindness over envy, truth over lies, and love over hatred. Together, we can create a world where trust and respect flourish. If you've enjoyed this story and its powerful lessons, don't forget to like this video to let us know that you appreciate our storytelling. Subscribe to this channel so you can enjoy more captivating African folktales like this, and turn on notifications so you'll never miss on our new upload. And most importantly, share this story with your friends and family to spread its meaningful message. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next tale. Bye for now.